A little girl in the backseat asked her dad a simple question and accidentally handed the internet a week's worth of content. Blueface was live streaming a family outing with Jaidyn Alexis and their two kids, Javaughn and Journey, the one everybody calls Pinkface. They were heading to King of Crabs, his seafood spot. Normal ride, family energy, nothing to see. Then Pinkface looked over at her dad and asked if he was planning to buy her mom some flowers. His answer? Yeah, at her funeral? Yeah, I'll get mommy some flowers. When she dies, bring it to her funeral. He was laughing the whole time he said it. Clips were everywhere before the stream even ended. Jaidyn's reaction was immediate. Why would you say that? Why would you ing say that?
Oh my gosh. Can you get flowers for mommy?
Yeah, I'll get mommy some flowers.
She wasn't laughing, wasn't treating it like a bit. Then Pinkface, with absolutely no red on the room, turned to her mom and said, "You said you wanted flowers, mommy."
One?
Yeah, which one?
It's somebody to pick from.
This one?
And that's the line that flipped the temperature entirely. Jaidyn told Pinkface she would get flowers, just not from her daddy. Somebody else would handle that. She said it directly to her daughter on a live stream with full awareness that the cameras were rolling. Comment sections did not recover after that. What people kept coming back to wasn't really the joke itself. It was the configuration. A toddler asked something sweet, got a funeral response, and then watched her mom field it in real time. Viewers weren't just reacting to Blueface. They were reacting to all three of them being in that car together while this played out. Clips circulated fast, and the comment section did what comment sections do, broke into factions. One side focused on Blueface's comfort level with being publicly dismissive of Jaidyn, doing it casually, doing it in front of their kid, doing it while laughing. The other side went straight to Pinkface and what she's absorbing by being in these live streams regularly. 4. The comment that kept surfacing across every platform was some version of, "Pinkface is going to be his karma." One Instagram user wrote it plainly, "It's cute until it's not." Another noted that the little girl repeats things she hears from the adults around her, and people didn't need that observation spelled out further. It just sat there. Jaidyn's move, telling her daughter flowers would come from someone else, generated its own separate wave of reaction. Some people clapped for it. Others thought it was equally pointed to say in front of the child. The comment section was not unified on that one. The reason this particular week got so loud is because the flower clip didn't land in a quiet news cycle. The same stretch of days had people already talking about something that looked completely opposite to everything the livestream represented. On June 5th, Blueface walked a red carpet at the 6th Annual Hollywood Unlocked Impact Awards. Full suit, blue jacket, white dress shirt, red tie, black shoes. Not a streetwear moment, not a halfway attempt. Whole thing.
Hello, good morning, bitch. How you doing today? Woke up this morning thinking about what I'ma drive today.
Worth noting, the last time he appeared at this same event, he showed up shirtless inside a jacket. This time he came with a complete outfit and a totally different posture to go with it. People noticed, and they were mostly with it. The suit wasn't the problem. Face tattoos next to the formal look made for an interesting conversation, but it wasn't the main thing anyone was fixating on. It was the tie. Specifically, the fact that the red tie appeared to have been knotted by someone who had never knotted a tie before, or possibly by no one. Comments moved fast. Who tied his tie? One user said the tie was physically bothering them and it spread. Another one just wrote, THDTIESPISIIS edge NOF in all caps. That got thousands of cosigns. Someone else noted that he used to be handsome before all the additional face ink. And that thread had a whole separate life of its own. The red carpet look became its own contained moment. Most people genuinely surprised to see him dressed like that, genuinely unable to get past the knot. And no mattery in his settery B. I. Blueface had been home from a 2-year prison sentence for a relatively short window before the Hollywood Unlocked event. He came back visibly different, bulked up, more face tattoos, a new hairstyle. Showing up at a high-profile awards night in a full suit shortly after release wasn't accidental. A red carpet appearance is a statement about where you see yourself going, and he clearly wanted to make one. So you have that, and you also have, in the same week, him in a car making funeral jokes while his daughter sits a few feet away. The same person doing both of those things within the same news cycle is what made the contrast so loud that people couldn't stop talking about it. Then there's the third thread running underneath all of this, and it's the one with the most actual stakes. On May 25th, Blueface posted on X about child support. Not a passing comment, a full message. His position: if you have a kid and you need child support to get by, you should probably let the parent who can best support the child have custody. A couple $1,000 a month ain't gonna better your situation enough for the kid, he wrote publicly on his main account, for everyone to read. This landed at a time when there was reportedly active tension between him and Jaidyn over money. Specifically, Jaidyn allegedly asking for $10,000 a month. So the people who follow this situation closely read the post, not as a general opinion about parenting policy, but as a public argument in an ongoing private dispute. The timing wasn't subtle. Some people took the surface argument seriously and debated the custody and financial fitness angle on its own terms. A larger portion of the comment section treated the post for what the context around it suggested: a man framing a financial disagreement as a philosophical stance so he could argue it in public before it potentially became a legal one. First then came the video. Blueface was with Javaughn and Journey at what appeared to be Jaidyn's house. He handed Javaughn a stack of cash, said it totaled $11,200, and told the boy, "I'd rather give it to you than mommy."
I'd rather give it to you than mommy.
Uncle?
Yeah.
Take your shoes off.
So you guys can split it. Don't tell mommy, all right? Javaughn walked to the counter and counted it out loud himself to confirm. Blue then told him Jaidyn had allegedly asked for $10,000 a month and put it to his 9-year-old to weigh in on whether that was reasonable. Javaughn's first answer was none. He revised it to $100. Blueface laughed and pressed further, asked Javaughn whether he thought Jaidyn still wanted to get back together with him. The boys read, "It depends if you got money." Comments on the clip were split. A portion of people flagged the obvious that this video exists, it was filmed, it was posted publicly, and it shows a grown man telling his young son to hide money from his mother. Another portion was convinced the whole thing was staged for content and the cash wasn't real. Instagram user at Javaughn left a comment that got heavy engagement. Every time he clip farms Jaidyn, he follows up with begging her for attention. Yet people claim he's not obsessed with her. Around the same window, Journey turned up in her own clip, entirely separate from all the drama, doing arts and crafts with her grandmother Carlisa, Saffold, Harvey, and Jaidyn. Journey, who's around 3 or 4, started talking about her baby daddy. She had drawn her dad on one of the papers in front of her and was letting the room know about it. The adults in the video found it cute. Online it sparked a whole separate conversation. Nobody in the clip did anything wrong, but a toddler comfortably using the phrase baby daddy to describe her own father, tied as naturally in context without prompting, sparked a wave of commentary about what language these kids are being raised around. Instagram user at Malaya Monai wrote, "You can tell she be repeating a lot of things she hear her mama say lol." That reaction ran across every platform. People weren't blaming anyone specific. They were clocking the environment. And placed next to everything else that happened that same week, Pinkface and the funeral flowers, Javaughn being handed $11K with secrecy instructions, Blueface's public child support post, the arts and crafts clip stopped reading as a funny toddler moment and started reading as another data point. What's worth noting about the full timeline is that most outlets covered each moment individually. The suit got its own piece. The live stream got its own piece. The child support tweet got its own debate cycle. The $11K clip ran separately. Almost nobody stacked all of it against the same 2 to 3 week window to report on it as a single ongoing situation. Blueface stepped out at a Hollywood red carpet looking like he was pivoting into a new phase. Days later, he was in a car making funeral jokes to a toddler on a live stream. Days after that, he was posting about how mothers who need child support should consider giving up custody. Days after that, he was handing his son $11,000 in cash and telling him to keep it from mom and filming all of it. Those are not 4 separate stories. That's one story, one thing that never got addressed publicly across any of this. Jaidyn has said she's not in a hurry to put Blueface on formal child support. She made that clear in earlier conversations. So the child support post on X wasn't responding to a filed case or a court situation. It was responding to a reported private conversation, one that Blueface apparently decided to take public and reframe as a general parenting opinion before anything became official. Whether it stays unofficial is a different question. And based on the clips from the past few weeks, the public financial disputes to our grun, the children appearing regularly in content, the arguments playing out on live stream rather than in private. The trajectory of where this is heading doesn't look like it's moving toward a quieter co-parenting arrangement. Jaidyn has also not been silent. Between confronting him on stream about old comments, making pointed statements directly to Pinkface, and continuing to appear in family content that generates its own reaction cycle, she's an active participant in how, this saga stays in circulation. Both of them are. The comment from @JoShawStardom keeps coming back around in discussions for a reason. Every clip that uses Jaidyn as the subject, the funeral joke, the child support post, the $11K reveal, the "don't tell mommy" instruction, followed by Blueface engaging with her response, or posting something adjacent to it, or showing up on her live stream, or having a conversation that ends up clipped. The audience has noticed the pattern even if nobody's officially naming it. As of now, no formal legal action has been reported. No custody arrangement has been publicly filed. No response from Jaidyn's side, specifically addressing the $11K video, has surfaced. And Blueface hasn't revisited the child support post publicly since it went up.